Hi, everybody. This is Virginia Milner coming to you for the DeKalb County Library System. And we're doing a special project just for you young folks out there. We are doing what I'm calling our Fantastical Fantasy Bracelet. I had wanted to do this 2 years ago before we got stuck in the virus. But now we are bringing it to you, and I am really happy to tell you that I am referencing as many princesses as I can. It was colors and little emblems. We've got Pocahontas' little leaf, and we've got a snowflake for Frozen. So we're gonna do a nice memory wire bracelet. Very easy to do, takes only a few minutes. You need just a nice little supply of beads, and we're going to get started. So what you're going to use is memory wire, and those of you who get kits are going to have memory wire in your kit. It's already cut, and as you can see, it's already formed. So all you need to do is put the beads on it and then put it on your wrist, and you're all finished. And so what you need is a supply of beads. Just a nice array of beads here, like I've got. And you need your memory wire. No, I dropped them all over the place. And you need some pliers. You're going to need round nose pliers and flush cutters, and you may need the chain nose pliers, but you may not. Now, for those of you who do not get kits and go to the store and buy your own memory wire, that's fine. But you need to know that when you cut this wire, it's tempered steel and it's very, very strong. So if you're going to use a cutter, I would suggest you use a really strong one from your toolbox at home, instead of using the ones that we use just for general jewelry making purposes, because this will put little dents in your wire, and you don't want that, in your pliers, your cutters, and you don't want that. So get some strong cutters from the toolbox and use those to cut your memory wire, whatever size you want. So we're going to get started. Let's get started and get this bracelet made. So what I have here is a selection of beads. And again, I'm referencing as many princesses as I can. For Elsa, I've got nice blue colors and icy colors like this one, this clear crystal. For Ariel, I've got aqua. I've got purple and pink for Anna. I've got teal for Jasmine, green for Tiana, the Princess and the Frog. And then we've got our little flower girls. We've got Moana, who's had her little baby wore the plumeria flower in her hair to hold her hair. We have Belle's rose, and we have Mulan's magnolia flower. So just a little idea of what you can use to make your bracelet. You don't have to do this at all. That's just the theme that I went with for this one. So what I have is my memory wire. And what I need to, the first thing I need to do is take my memory wire pliers and make a loop on the end so that when I start stringing my beads, they won't fall off. So I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to slide my wire down, about halfway down my pliers, maybe a little less. And I'm going to make sure that the end of my wire is not sticking out here. So if I run my finger along my pliers, I shouldn't be able to feel the wire. Okay, and so now I'm going to make a loop. So I'm going to rotate my pliers with a really nice strong grip on my wire. I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to keep rotating. And every once in a while, I have to open up the pliers in order to keep the rotation going. And I'm just going to keep rotating until I have a full loop, just like that. Now I want to make sure that the end of my wire is backed up against the long length of wire here. I don't want it sticking out the back. That's where my flat pliers come in, because if I squeeze this down, that will help it line up against the back of my wire and not over on the side where it can scratch me if it's sticking out there. I don't want that. So make sure that it's nicely, there we go. There. There, now it's not sticking out on either side. It's just right up against my long wire. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I can start putting on my beads. And as you can see, I have all different sizes. This you don't have to do, it's not symmetrical. You don't have to do any particular designing. It's just how you want your colors to fall. So I like to start off with kind of a medium-sized bead down there against my loop. So I'm going to start off with what I'm calling an Elsa blue. I'm going to go with that. And then because she's Elsa, I think I'm going to give her a frosty color next to it. So I'm going to go with this guy right here. Neat, huh? Now let's move on to, let's go, you know what, let's go over here and let's do a jasmine teal. I'm just naming them. They don't have any real names. This is just what I'm calling them. But you can just put your beads on any way you like until you fill up your bracelet. With a lot of silver kind of infused in there a little bit. Give myself some green. Oh, I can see the little hole in there. This is a crackle bead. Here we go. Now let's go with one of these red ones. And let's get teal. And let's put one of these. Wasn't able to get all the princesses in. I mean, Cinderella, Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, I am so sorry. And Merida, I'm sorry. There's only so much space on my little bracelet. So some people had to be left out, which is sad, I know. Oh, look at this. I have a little star. I think I'll put that on. A silver star. Pretty. Okay, what else do I want? Let's go with another kind of fuchsia color. Now, what I think I'm going to do, I'm taking that back off because I'm going to use it with one of my flowers. Yeah, let's do, yeah, I think I'll do this magnolia. So I'm going to put my magnolia flower on. Then I'm going to put this little pink crystal in the center. Oh, look at that. Isn't that lovely? I like it. Okay. Let's go with the next one. Yeah. And I just want to keep on going. What's next? Until I fill my bracelet completely up. It's up to you what design you make. It doesn't have to be any particular style or pattern, because when you finish, it's going to wrap around your arm and all of the colors are going to melt together. So it's going to be really pretty. So I'm just going to keep going. Oh, and what you want to do is just feed them on. You don't have to put it on and then make sure they go all the way down to the bottom. because they will find their way down there without having to be pushed down there. They'll go. Okay, let's put this royal blue crystal on. That's beautiful. Okay, ooh, yellow one. Oh, look at this cute little flower. Nice. Oh, in fact, I think I will put that on first, and then I'll put my bead on. So it's going to go right there beside that blue one. Then I'm going to put this yellow bead on. And then I think I have another one. Yes, I have a green one. I'm going to put that on the other side. And with these little flat ones, there's one side that's kind of got a little dip in it. So it will frame my bead when I put it on. So see that? Isn't that neat? Yeah. Okay. Let's go with another pink one. And I think it's about time to put on another flower. Don't you? Let's see where we are. I have 3 flowers. Actually, I think I'm going to do roses. Belle's rose as a dangle on the ends. Put that on there. Let's see what it looks like so far. Every once in a while you can check. Yes, I've got one loop almost finished. Oh, pretty. Very nice. And let's just keep going. All right. Oh, you know what? I think it's time for some more silver. I put a star on before. I think this time I will put on a little heart. This daisy, silver daisy. And put on this orange crystal. That's beautiful. This orange faceted crystal. If I can find the hole. There it is. And I'm going to put this little heart on. Oh, isn't that neat? Little heart. Okay. Put this red bead on the heart. Oh. Square bead. I like this. That's so different. Put this clear one on. Elsa would be very happy. And let's put on silver. Back it up. What's the hole? I don't see one. There you go. All right, and so what I'm going to do now is put on another flower. So let's put on the plumeria. Here we go. No, we did the plumeria. This is the magnolia. So we've got Mulan's pink magnolia flower. And look at that, that's perfect. Keep that in there. Isn't that pretty? Neat. Okay, let's get another. Let's go blue. Put some silver in there. The silver first. And then the blue. And I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep filling up my bracelet. Keep putting the beads on until my bracelet is completely full. And then I'm going to come back and show you how to finish it, because it's got to be kind of boring for you to watch me just put beads on. So simple, very, very easy. And I want to come back and show you the finished product. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I will be back in just a moment. Okay, so here we go. My beads are all on my bracelet. I still have the other side that I need to make a loop so that the beads don't fall off of the other side. But here's my bracelet. Isn't that great? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is take my pliers again, slide my wire about halfway down my pliers. So here's my wire right there. Where is it? There it is. Make sure that the wire's not sticking out past the pliers. I want to get a good grip right in between the teeth of my pliers. And again, I'm going to rotate until I get a nice loop. And every once in a while, I open up my pliers. I don't take the wire out. I just open it and turn the pliers back, clamp down again, and rotate, open, clamp down, and rotate until I have a full circle. So there we go. There's my bracelet. Isn't that beautiful? And so now what I'm going to do, I had some beads left over, yay, so I can do anything I want with those. So now what I'm going to do is make these little dangles for on the side here, for on the end. I'm going to put some little dangles on there. So what I'm going to do with my rose, I decided to dangle this rose because it's pretty big. And I already have 2 flowers in there for Mulan and Moana. So I thought I would put this flower, just dangle it off the side. So what I need is a piece of 20 gauge wire, which you'll have in your kits, those of you who get them. And what I'm going to need is about ½ an inch on each side of the little hole. There's a little hole drilled in here. I put my wire through. I need about ½ an inch on each side in order to make a loop. So I'm going to make a small loop on one side because the petals of my rose will cover up that loop and I don't have to worry about it showing. So what I'm going to do is go down about $1/4 inch down my pliers. And you can use a ruler to measure that if you want. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. But there's my pliers, the end. Yes, I'm going to go down. Oh, no, about 1/8 inch is good enough. About 1/8 inch down my pliers. And I'm going to grab the wire again. I don't want anything sticking out the back. And I'm going to make a nice loop. Just going to rotate until I have a small loop, just like I did with my memory wire. Not quite closed up. Let's close that up. Okay, there's my loop. And in order to have this not leaning off on the side, what I'm going to do is put the tip of my pliers in just at the very bottom of the loop. And I'm going to bend it back just a little bit. I can get it to cooperate. And bend it back just a little bit so that my loop is centered on top of the wire, like so. Now I'm going to put my flower on, my rose. Just slide that in there. Let's put it on the other side where I can hide that loop a little bit better. So I'm going to make my loop a little bit smaller so it doesn't stick out quite so much. That's where these pliers come in. So I can just squish my loop a little bit to make it smaller. Or, yeah, that's probably the best way. Let's just give it a little squeeze. Oops, it's slippery. It wants to slide off. So I'm going to put it against my finger. Squeeze it until my loop gets a little bit smaller. See how much smaller that got? Straighten that up. Put my rose back on. So now my little loop doesn't show as much. So there we go. And I'm going to make a loop on the other side so that I can connect it and dangle it from my bracelet. So I'm going to go back in again, grab my wire with my pliers. I'm going to go about 1/4 of the way down or 1/8 of an inch down. Make sure the wire's not sticking out the back. Here we go. And I'm going to rotate over here where you can see it a little bit better. Here we go. I rotate until I have a loop. I'm going to go in. I'm going to bend the wire back till it's nice and straight and centered. So now I'm going to open it up and attach it to my bracelet. Take my pliers, and here's the side of my loop. I'm just going to open it up. I'm going to slide it onto the loop that's on my bracelet and close it back up. And now I have a nice little rose dangling from my bracelet. Let's see if I can show you. Get over there. There. Isn't that neat? Okay. So now for the other two, they have their little rings in them. So all I need for those is a jump ring, this little ring here to attach it. So I'm going to just open up my jump ring. And the proper way to open your jump ring is to put your pliers on one side of the opening. There's a little split in here. Where is it? There it is. So there's a little tiny split. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. So I put my pliers on one side, and then I take my thumb on the other side of the split, and I just push down until it's open. So now I can slide Pocahontas's leaf on, and I can decide which side I want it to dangle on. I think I'm going to put it on the opposite side to Belle's rose. Just going to slide that loop of the bracelet in to the jump ring. I'm going to give it a squeeze to close it. And then make sure it's completely closed. Just need to adjust it a little bit until it's completely closed. There we go. And now I have a leaf and a rose. Here we go. So I've got two little dangles. Here's one. Here's one. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see it on camera. Here it is. Yeah. And now I'm going to put the frozen snowflake on. again, I'm going to take my pliers, grab my jump ring, find my little split opening, which is right there. Bring this down a little closer. Let's get up close and personal here. Where is it? There it is. There's my little opening on the side here. There it is. Take my thumb, push down. Now it's open. And put on my snowflake. And I think I'm going to put it on the same side as my leaf. So I've got both of my silver pieces on one side. So we've got Pocahontas and Elsa represented on one side and Belle on the other. I'm going to close that up. And there we go. And so I have two dangles on one side and a third dangle on the other side. So there we go. There are my little dangles. And these extra beads that you have, I have some really cute beads here. You could also add another dangle on there if you want. Get another piece of wire here. What do I want to put on? Oh, you know what? Maybe I will put a little heart over here with my leaf and my snowflake. I'm going to put a couple of things on there. So I'm going to go back in. I'm going to make another loop, slide down until I'm about 1/8 of the way down my pliers. This time I think I'm going to make a spiral. So let me show you how to do that because those are fun. So what I want to do is take the tip of my pliers and grab the tip of my wire. I'm going to make a tiny little loop. I like to hold it with my finger, just be careful of that tip. Make a little loop, and then I want to continue to wrap that wire around itself to make a little spiral. Let's see if I can get this a little clearer. So I'm going to continue to wrap. Until I have a little spiral down there. Neat, huh? We can keep going if I want. Make another little wrap around. There. I like it. Okay, now I'm going to straighten that. I want to straighten this wire up. Instead of having it leaning off to the side like that, away from my spiral, I want it to stand straight up. So I'm going to put my pliers in right there on the tip. I'm going to bend my long end of wire until it's centered on top of my spiral. I'm going to take my little flat nose pliers. I'm going to roll this forward a little bit more. It goes nicely in the center. Now, what do I want to put on here? Thinking I'm going to put this cute little heart on. So I have this little heart, and better on a heart than a red bead. Oh, isn't that pretty? Do you want anything else on there? Or is that enough? I think that's enough, except that I think I'm going to put a little dot of silver in between, just to give it a little more sparkle. So got my silver and my little red heart. I mean, my little red crystal. It's bicone shape. That is beautiful. I think that just makes it. All right. And now I just need to make a loop. I need about 1/2 inch. We cut off that little excess that I don't need. And I just need to make a loop, just like we did before. So I'm going to go in here about 1/8 of an inch away from the tip with my wire. I'm going to rotate, open, rotate, clamp, rotate, open, rotate, clamp, and rotate until I have a closed loop, just like that. And then again, see how it's kind of leaning over to the side? I go back in with my pliers, just the tip, and I'm going to bend it until it's nice and straight. So now it's nicely centered over my bead. Looks like a little crown. And I think I'm going to put it in here. Oh, yes. Let's open up my loop. Again, I'm right there on the flat side. I'm going to push it up, slide it in. I think I'm going to put it in between these two on my loop here. And put on the jump ring. Yes, right in between the two on the jump ring. I'm going to close that back up. And there we have it. Here's my bracelet. Isn't that lovely? So there we are. There is our fantastical fantasy bracelet. And let's see what it looks like on the big screen here. There we go. There's our bracelet. There are all of our little dangles. So everything on display. And that is how we do it. Very easy, very simple, very pretty when it's all finished. So that is our tutorial for the day. I hope you will make your own bracelet. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy your bracelet. And when you make your bracelet, I hope that you will post it on the library Facebook page so that we can see your creation. Every single one of them is going to be different because nobody is going to design them the same way. So that is the beauty of this type of bracelet. So I hope to see a lot of pictures of your fantastical fantasy bracelets on the library Facebook page, or you can email it to me at jewelrygen20@gmail.com. That's JEWELRYGIN20@gmail.com. Senior moment. And I hope to see a lot of these because we would love to see your creation. So anyway, thank you for joining us. I hope that you come back again. I hope we'll have more programs. And I hope that you'll see me again. If you like it, let us know. If you didn't like it, let us know. And let me know what I can do better next time. Okay? Until then, enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. And so long.